What is up, guys? So we know fighter pay has been a topic of recent times, and Tim Kennedy, who once fought for the UFC, went on Ariel Wani's MMA show and discussed that fighters in the UFC, they just don't get paid enough. So let's listen to what he has to say.
You had the best fight of the night, and you can't buy an electric car. Like, that's how insulting it is.
Now, I'm all for fighter pay, but at the same time, if you were to get fight of the night, which would be 50 grand, let's say you take 8,000 out for taxes, you got 42 left, you may not be able to get a Tesla, but you could get the 2022 Nissan Leaf. I mean, you're not turning heads with the Nissan Leaf, but it is technically a electric car.
Like, you can't buy your mom. Like, an NFL guy goes out there, makes a moment, and he gets that NFL, like, little bump. Like, he goes and buys his mom a house.
Yeah.
You know, an 18-year-old goes and gets signed, goes play football for 3 years, and he goes and plays for the, inserts any football team, and he's buying his whole entire family houses.
I don't think it's a fair comparison to compare the NFL to the UFC in any way whatsoever, other than the fact that, more people may tune in on a Saturday than they do on a Sunday for a particular team. But as far as pay goes, the NFL is just next level compared to the UFC. The UFC is still in infancy status compared to the NFL, which has been around for quite a while.
And then you have a UFC fighter who is, like, top 5 in the world. Top 5, and he can barely make rent. He's sleeping on a gym floor sometimes. He can't even do a proper fight camp. Agent takes a percentage, IRS takes a percentage, and no real sponsors because it's all controlled by the UFC. And that poor guy that poor girl is just barely scraping by.
So I'm not hating on the fact that he's shining light on the subject that is very real. There are UFC fighters that I think the minimum for it is like $15,000 or $12,000 the UFC has to pay them at the very bottom. And if they fight, once a year and they're bringing eyes to a main card and they're getting paid $15,000 and they still got to work at a Wendy's, that's kind of messed up when you're a part of such a big organization. I agree that fighter pay does need to be fixed, but to say top 5 is all I'm saying, top 5. That they're, sleeping on the floor, that they can't pay rent. How much is it to the fighter to acknowledge these contracts, know what they're getting into, and to allocate their resources accordingly, is all I'm saying. But at the same time, I am all for fighter pay. I just think that Tim Kennedy in this segment may have over-exaggerated, maybe used the wrong term slightly, but he has the right idea that fighter pay should be increased, especially if the revenue is increasing, but the fighter pay really isn't.